How's it going, everybody? Let's do a nice audio and visual check for tonight. I think we are all good. How's everybody doing? Got a few things. I gotta adjust a few things on my end, to be honest, actually. There we go. That's a little bit better. I'm not taking up most of the screen. Looks good. Sounds good. Good. Thanks, Dan Trader. Echo. There should be no echo. Maybe echo on your end. Yeah, it's a one heck of a Monday, right? We had one heck of a Sunday night. Crazy 24-hour. Let's go ahead and run through the Topstep risk disclosure. Welcome to Slow Markets, everybody. Everything you see tonight is, as always, with that Topstep risk disclosure in the YouTube chat. It's for risk. It's not a signals class. We get it. We talk about it every single night, every single day. Anyway, let's keep going through it. Dakota, what chair do you use? I am looking for an office chair. This is actually a gaming chair. Extremely comfortable. It was on your end, Dan. Anyway, how did everybody do today? This is the NASDAQ. We'll take a look at the NASDAQ on the daily. What a day. Like, that is... We have not seen a day like that since August, right? I mean... That's one heck of a way to start. We've seen some volatility. Bad day for you. Lost your XFA. Best trading day all time for me yesterday. Up 2,200 on the day. All right. How good does the payout feel? It's just is what it is. I don't feel any certain way about taking a payout. I got chopped up a bit going through some of the chats. It was an interesting day. I mean, we look back. When was the last time we seen anything like today? I mean, Sunday, right, where we gapped and we were down 5%. It's been a while. I mean, has it really been a while? We seen something similar just like that December 18th. So it was not. It was not very long ago. And if we take a look back, I mean, yeah, volatile times. We are in a volatile market. That is for sure. Erased an entire week, 2 weeks worth of trading in just a day. Hit max loss, one account max profits. How much payout did you take? White House, just under a quarter, 200. 227. Does anyone copy trade all 5 accounts at once? How's that going for you, J-Rog? I've seen some traders copy trade 5 XFAs at once. I don't recommend it until you feel comfortable and confident. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to tonight. It's the daily chart here on the NASDAQ. It is Tuesday, or Tuesday's trading day, right? It's Monday night, Tuesday's trading day. Let's take a look what is on the books. Not much for news tonight. There's not a lot going on around the world. Tomorrow we will have U.S. durable goods. We have the consumer confidence. We have 7-year, obviously high yield bid cover. We have the Bank of Japan meeting minutes tomorrow night, and maybe some more volatility tomorrow night. But it looks like maybe, and of course earnings, right? We have earnings, correct? Let's take a look. Let's see. Correct me if I'm wrong. Chat always knows before I do. Let's go. We have earnings tomorrow, I believe, throughout this week. How did I open up the economic events? Right there. It's Traders Hub. Click on that. We do have some earnings tomorrow. Nothing too crazy. We do. We have Microsoft on Wednesday, Tesla on Wednesday, Meta on Wednesday. All right, IBM. Wednesday is going to be a big day. I mean, and then Apple on Thursday. What else do we have? You Palantir, if you guys are ExxonMobil. Wednesday and Thursday are going to be big days. Wednesdays and Thursdays are going to be big days. Obviously, Wednesday with this big thing that we have, it's called the FOMC rate statement, followed by a press conference by Jerome Powell. This is going to be a huge one. This is going to be a huge one. So Wednesday, tons of volatility. Maybe tonight into tomorrow, we will see a lot of slow markets finally. I mean, we're seeing slow-ish markets. It's actually looking pretty bullish on my end, if I do say so myself, where I'm looking at this market. This is a 5-minute now, and this is actually looking pretty bullish on my end, to be honest, right? We see these higher lows forming. We see these higher lows forming, and I'm going to go ahead and switch over to my live account, and maybe we could hop into a trade right here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hop into a trade. I like this. We'll see if we catch. Oh man, it's 55 points. I mean, the market's still volatile. It might not look volatile, but it is. It is. So the market's not as slow as it might appear. This is a decent range. Look at this. Look at this move. That's from there. That's 50 points in the last little bit. So we are still experiencing quite a bit of volatility. So quite a bit of volatility tonight. But the reason why I jumped into this trade, it's looking like we're continuing to make higher lows. Ever since we made that sell-off, I mean, during the London session, it's been pretty bullish, right? Higher lows. We are making equal highs. Looking at these equal highs forming. Let's see if we could get some type of a breakout to the long side. Oh, you see, I am in my live account. It's not a signals class. Remember, not a signals class. Let's see if we could catch some buyers push this market. Let's see if we could get up to this, maybe this upper zone into these 40s, 30s or 40s. Wow, this is a 5-minute. I gotta zoom in. It's already up 6-7 points. I'm gonna zoom in. Yeah. What a volatile market. NQ suffers from insomnia lately. NQ's, there's been a lot of moves overnight in the NQ. That's for sure. That you're not joking on that one. Yeah, this is looking like a pretty good trade. Sorry, I seen this trade, so I just jumped into it. I'm not going to waste time doing too much in depth. Let's continue to go over it. So let's take a look at this 1-hour chart. So we've seen on the daily. I mean, a whole lot blew up on the daily, right? So we've seen a lot of craziness happen. Let's take a look at the daily again. We just had this huge, massive sell-off. It started Friday, continued over Sunday night, and just sold off. We sold off how many points from the high? I mean, this is 1,300 points, give or take. I mean, from Friday's high. That is a huge move, and we have more volatility to come on Wednesday. And so as we start to zoom in, we are right about in the middle. I don't know if I know traders are going to be looking at Sunday's gap. Is that going to take a role? What's that going to how's that going to play into this week? Well, this gap means nothing right now until after we maybe I don't know, it would have to have one heck of a rally to get back up there. But if we take, I know some traders that like fib retracements. I don't know if you want to consider from where we opened to start of the gap, where we are right just above halfway. We still have a little bit of room to go. If we're gonna, hit the 60, 61, a little over that, or if they like to measure from that high, then if that's the case, we are right at the 0.38. Maybe we have a little bit of room to go to the halfway mark. I'm not sure. A lot of fib traders, there's a lot of fib conversations that I have seen. If we zoom into an hourly chart and we take a look from an hourly perspective, there is some aspect. I mean, it's pretty interesting, right? Where we look and we try and understand where is support, where is resistance. We see some support that came into play overnight. I mean, it's a decent sized zone. It's a decent sized zone here. And then we take a look at the high end, right? This is what we broke through last night. This is what I was talking about last night. It sure enough became resistance, this zone. And there's not a lot of clear price action. I think today's price action kind of hit a little bit of a reset button to see where we are at. What are we looking for? I'd be interesting to see if we can make a run up to this consolidation zone. up here into these 520s. This would be the first one I'm looking at, this zone. If we do end up getting a bit of a rally, and if we do, I mean, this could be overnight, this could be tomorrow. I mean, wherever that is, this is going to be the first level that I am watching. This is the first level I'm watching, whether it's tonight, whether it's tomorrow, or tomorrow night. If we could get up to these 520s, that's the first level I'm watching. Obviously, I'm going to be watching this one that we held as support. And basically, all of this is nice, clean, new, fresh price action from yesterday and tonight. Let's look. I'm going to continue to zoom in, and we could take a look at even a more in-depth level. It looks like even throughout the New York session, this has become a decent zone. So, I mean, I wouldn't be too opposed to having a little bit wider stop loss, smaller size, wider stop loss. You can see this is holding as support. Holding as support so far. Maybe there's something to be said if we're making some type of flagging pattern, some type of consolidation. I'm not sure on this aspect, but we continue to make higher lows, and I'm looking for this market to maybe come back up and test these session highs. From the resistance area, we do know that obviously support and resistance. It was support, became resistance overnight, and it became resistance once again during the New York session. And that is these 410s. These 410s. Yeah, that was quite the move, right? It was support last night, and then it became resistance. And then we sold off and we got back up there. So that is an important level. These 400s, obviously, big round number. Let's go through. Yeah, so far so good. I like this trade. Let's see. There might be a better way to manage this one, to be honest. I'm going to continue to zoom in. Let's see if we could find, if we do end up breaking out, I'm going to move my stop loss to 97s, 90s right here. But it is still markets. Let's get to some questions. I'll continue to go through this. Trading for me is first, right? Comes first. Trading does come first. So I'm going to be watching this as a 5-minute chart. Maybe we could even zoom in. Let's see what it looks like on a zoomed in chart. Even on a zoomed in chart, right? This is what we're looking at. Higher lows, about equal highs. So are we going to get a fake out and a sell off and a retest back here towards these lows? Do we just run some stops? That is making me a little bit nervous, right? Where we ran stops here. Do we just run some stops here? It's looking like it, right? If we get a bounce, I'm going to jump out of this one. I'll take a $200 loss. I don't mind a $200 loss. Let's see if any of this will hold up. Yeah, this is when I got in it. I got in it and we failed to break out. I think that's when I got in. I got in, yep, exactly as we were starting. So that is where I got in. We had that nice little bounce. Let's see, we were in about 8 points in the money, and now we're coming back out down to the bottom of this. Pop a stop against, set them up. Not sure what that means. Let's get to some more questions. How and where can I learn candlestick patterns? Also, what indicators are useful? Please advice. So I'm going to jump out of this in just a moment. If we can, I'm going to let this one just run my stop. But yeah, talk about calling the top of that move. Man, what a mess that was. Let's see how this market holds, or we break through these 300s. 18 points. I'm just going to jump out of it. Minus $400. How and where can I learn candlestick patterns? That's a good question. There's a lot of website and there's a lot of resources. There's a lot of resources on YouTube, and I mean, I don't. There's so much. I would just say you could Google some very basic candlestick patterns. Smart Futures TV. I am convinced he's doing this on purpose. Doing what on purpose? If you're talking about, I'm not sure what I think I know what you mean. You might have to clarify it. But the word this doesn't mean anything. You could say this right here is a decision zone, right? This, that word this, is a decision zone. Now, nobody knows where this market's going to go. And if somebody says they do, I will argue I would die on the hill. I would 1000% disagree with anybody who tells you that they know where this market's going to go. This is a decision zone. Now, are we going to break out to the long side or sell off? Now, obviously, we did make the run to the long side, right? We made a run to the long side. We got whipsawed, and the market sold off, and we took a loss, right? Same for basically same for what happened here, and you can say that about any decision zone. Smart TV, what side of the decision were you on that hypothetical zone? We were on the wrong side. I was on the wrong side of this decision zone, right? We're starting to sell off now, and I'm actually pretty interested in possibly buying this one again. I'm going to hop back into it. It's always cheaper to get back into than to hold it against me. Let's see if we could get back into this. Poppy Corks, this is not a random area. This is not a random area. In no way is this a random area. How is this a random area? It's not random. Yeah, help me understand your thinking. I really want to understand your thought. I entered into a random area. Oh no, right? Like this is another random area. Is it? Is this a random area where I just got in? I don't know. Maybe to someone else. You've never heard the term random in the markets? There's the one thing I will say that's random. I've worked on a few theories, I guess, in the markets, is the random walk. Anybody heard of the random walk? I know there's a few other words and people might call it a few other names for it as well. It's structure. There you go, EF. Don't pay attention. Oh, I don't care about, to be honest, I really do not care about if somebody wants to come in here and troll, which we see it all the time. The idea is learning, okay? I'm always learning. Traders in the chat is always learning. And it's understanding market structure. If we know exactly where this market's going, I don't think any of us would be here. I want to be long this market. Okay, I want to be long this market because it's bullish. Remember, we looked at these higher time frames. We looked on the hourly chart. I looked in the hourly chart, looking at this higher low today during the New York session. Pretty bullish, holding up. And then we zoomed in. I went ahead and zoomed in, and I went through this pretty clear, pretty straightforward, and really clear about how we're making higher lows. And I'm looking at this as a flagging pattern. I was pretty clear to start the stream. If anybody missed it, feel free to rewatch it. And I'm looking to get in long. Now, timing and direction are two different things. I will make sure that is a fact. Timing and direction are two different things, right? where you could be correct on direction, but if you're wrong on timing, you could still lose money. You could be correct on timing, but wrong on direction and lose money. And so maybe here's a good example where I zoomed into a 1 minute, but my trade is based off of a 5 minute. So don't get tricked by this 1 minute chart. But if you take a look at this, here I was correct on timing, but wrong on direction. And I'll say correct on timing because the timing, the market had a move in volatility. We went in one direction or the other, but I was wrong on timing. And guess what? I lost $400. Maybe this one I'm right on timing and right on direction. I still believe that this market could rally up. Obviously, I'm in a long in my live account. And yeah, I'm still looking for us to make higher lows. I want to see us continue to make higher lows. My stop was down here for a reason. And I want to see us continue to maybe come up and test. And if we do get a breakout, then, if P&L doesn't lie. The P&L does not lie. End of story. Regardless of what you see online or on the internet, P&L does not lie when it comes to a live account. You're expecting a much larger retest. What time frame? Remember, this trade's set up on a 5 minute. It's a 5 minute trade. This is a higher time frame trade. It's a smaller trade, right? One contract, and I'm looking for a higher move. And I was pointing out that higher move, and we did everything based off of a higher time frame, right? We zoomed out. We were looking at these higher time frames, and what we say? What did we say? I'm looking for this zone around these 500s, these lower 500s to be tested. Will that zone be tested tonight, tomorrow, Wednesday? Maybe. It might not even be tested. You never know. If we do start to break out, then there could be a decent chance we rally up there. And I want to be long this market. If we do, it's going to be a very volatile market. You could see, it's a very volatile market. Even tonight during slow markets, you're seeing decent sized moves. Like this is 100 points, 113 point sell off. The start of slow markets, we've seen an 80 point rally, followed this and that, and now we're continuing to see that volatility. And I'm doing this. I'm zoomed into a one minute chart, and it kind of feels like I'm doing this on purpose, right? It's a cup and handle, possibly. Maybe. Did you kick Pippi Longstocking? Who's that? Who is that? I do not know Pippi Longstocking. Yeah, Abby, that's how it goes, right? Everyone has everything to say when you're in the red, but when you're in the green, it's just silence. It's silence. And then they just wait, and then they wait, and then as soon as it's red, then they'll click on the little chat box and type something up. Mo, Dakota, I seen the VIP drawing. Thanks for saving me until your drawing Friday. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I don't know. I'm excited. That VIP trading, that VIP drawing was fun. It was fun. We did 2 teams today. There'll be 2 teams tomorrow, and then 2 teams each day this week. Coach Jay's on Wednesday. I have my drawing that's going to be on Friday, which I'm excited for. Today was a nice day, so it's a nice day to draw. All right, chat's going pretty quick. Let's see if I could slow it down on my end. So I could go through this thing, saving the best for last. It's 500 traders that are being drawn for the VIP. If you've missed it today, don't worry. There's still 400 more. How many people are they drawing out of? What size of pot? I don't know. I don't know the details. I do know that there's 500 traders in total. There was 2 teams drawn today, 50 traders per team, total of 100. Where can we see the teams? It's posted on Topstep's Twitter, I think. Yeah, on TopstepTV. If you follow TopstepTV, they post them, right? So here's Topstep's. see. Uh-oh. What happened? There we go. Here's Topstep's thing. So we have Coach Paul's Profiteers. And there's Coach Paul. There's the draft. And wow, this is going to be a good one. Brett Steenbarger is going to be on January 28th. I'd love to have a good conversation with him. I always watch that one. I watch the recording. That's second to none, to be honest. The majority of trading is the psychological part. Definitely worth it. And then Coach Roberts, Technical Titans, and then there's his. So there is an advantage to just follow, watch, tune in to Topstep TV. So there's 2 of the teams. There's still 8 more teams to go. Like I said, 2 teams a day. 2 teams a day. I'm going to go ahead and move this stop, because if this becomes a retest of the break, right, where we retest this break and then we get continuation down, only going to be okay with risking 4 points. Can't pay to pick those 2 guys' brains. No, look at that. Look at that. I'm just going to get out of that one. Whoa. There's some news. That is why you tighten up that stop loss. Trump wants much bigger than 2.5%. Are we going to have more tariff conversation? Is that what's going on? More tariffs tonight? Tariff talks? More tariff talks. Look at this. Yep, tariff talks. Tariff levels in mind, not set yet. Much bigger. Trump wants much bigger than 2.5. Well, and this crap happens. Here we go. Here we go again. There she goes. We could watch this market sell off again. Trump mentions tariffs. That was 80 points in a minute. Go short. There goes all the technicals for tonight. It's gone. Kevin Scroggins, are we going to talk about tariffs for every day for the next 4 years? I sure hope not. I'm tired of this. 80 points in a minute. That's the reason why I have a stop loss right there. Who's ever in short, they're happy with Donald Trump talking about tariffs. Oh, another night under this new presidency of talking these markets into volatility. Just short it? I mean, yeah, where is the question? It's a little too late now. We were making a nice bullish market structure, and yep, Trump talks tariffs right on time. It came out 2 minutes ago. 2 minutes ago. To heck with technicals, everyone. We gotta time the Trump tweets. What a move. Yeah, slow markets are not slow tonight. Not in an 80-point sell-off in 1 minute, 2 minutes. Okay, next thing, let's take a look. What's the Nikkei doing? Nikkei. Yeah, we're seeing a big move in the Nikkei as well. NQ. Let's go through. How come your NASDAQ price is on 305, but in reality it's in the 200s? What do you mean? What are you mean? NASDAQ's trading around 250. What do you mean the 2% trading limit? Mo, this reminds me of the GME AMC days when Musk would tweet. Yes, it does, right? Any little word out of some, yes. Yeah, I could have a lot to say about this. Look at the market. Look at this market. This is why moving the NASDAQ to a healthier market. From the NASDAQ to a healthier market. What's the ES doing? We take a look at the ES. ES is doing the same thing. Let's take, let's go back to the NASDAQ. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind it. I love the volatility, but not when it's unexpected like this. I love volatility. I love planned volatility like an FOMC, and I love volatility in general, but I absolutely hate unplanned volatility random like this. Yeah, the order book is just dead now. We had a decent order book where look it was a decent order book, and now it's just gone. It's just nothing. Look, it's just absolutely nothing on the DOM. Just ones, twos. There's gaps. Earlier, before when we were up in this zone, it was pretty decent, and now it's a whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Nvidia's dumping too. Yeah, I don't know if that was a tweet. It came across here. It came. What do we have? More stuff coming out. Trump wants a universal tariff as much as at much bigger than 2.5. Supply USD funds against pooled collateral. Yeah, all that came out in the last 5 minutes. Last 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes. We're seeing this. How much are we? What are we? We're not too far from where we opened. We were only down 0.4. Down 0.4 from the high. 0.1. This is volatile. This is very volatile. Like that move in and of itself was almost a half a point, half a percentage here in the NASDAQ. Can you trade after hours? You could trade as long as the market's open. You could trade. I mean, the only time you can't trade is from 3 to 4 p.m. Central. This is not fun if you're. It's fun for the short traders, right? If you're short and it just randomly sells off, sure. Is it random though? Is it random? We did. Yeah, it is pretty. Is it random if it keeps happening? Is the question. Is it random if it keeps happening? Took the short trade based on resistance, had no skin idea, then yeah. This was either a blessing or the worst thing ever. Because you see the slippage? You see the slippage, right? If we take a look at some slippage, let's look. Let me see. If you want to see slippage, that was slippage. If you guys didn't see, I was risking 4 points, and I think I got a little bit less. I got 287. 287 was my filled, and no, it wasn't. It wasn't that much slippage, right? 287, 27 and a half. Only a half a point of slippage, 0.5. But you seen how I was trying to close it out when it first reacted, so I was a little bit too slow. That's why you always have to have stops. Always have stop losses. Let's take a look. I want to see what it looks like on a 100 tick. Let me zoom out on the hourly. Let's see a 5-minute again. We are at this level. I'm going to end up just convincing myself to buy this when I shouldn't. Let me zoom back in on the 1-minute chart. See, there's a difference between a 1 minute. Let me show everybody the difference on a 1-minute chart. See, 1 minute, just 2 minutes, just straight down, then a little bit of consolidation. And then we zoom into a 100 tick, right? And the 100 tick provides a little bit more clarity. Crude oil falling. Do I trade? Yeah, I trade Topstep X. I used to trade Ninja Trader. So I came from the Ninja Trader platform, and now I trade Topstep X, as you guys see here. Want to see if this resistance and this resistance holds. Or do we just go right back up? Platinum also dropped. Platinum also dropped. Pivots. Check the chat. I did call the 21,300 for a sell side. Now now we see just a thin order book, and it's not slow. This market's not slow at all. I do not use the 233. Maybe it's buy the dip. This week I'm going to take a break. I'll only be back after chosen VIP. Nikkei sells. Nikkei has been selling off. Look at this sell-off on the Nikkei, though. This is a 100 tick. If we want to talk about a sell-off, this was Sunday night, right? Sunday open, selling off. And then this is tonight as well. Yeah, we're recovering pretty nicely. That's 50 points off the bottom, right? That's 50 points. 60 points almost from top to bottom to top. 60 point. Nice reversal on the 5-minute. Let's take a look. Yeah, that is a 3-bar reversal on the 5-minute chart. If you're trading that, we're just seeing a lot of volatility. What I want to see is I would like to see, if we zoom in again, if I'm looking at pure market structure, I'd like to see. We did get a little bit of a retest. I'd like to see a retest and then a nice push higher. I want to be long this market, but this is just one of those good examples of no matter what, I want to get long. It's very difficult when this happens. When you just get some random event that sells off 80 points. And then we start pushing right back up to where we were. This is tough. This is, I mean, $500 is very small for what these moves are. Serious question. After such a stark sell-off, what makes you want to long? Ooh, good question. So nothing has changed from what I was saying, because everything I was looking at is from a higher time frame, right? Looking at the hourly chart. I'm looking at this hourly chart. I'm looking on these higher time frames, and everything I've been looking at tonight has been looking from the long side. Higher low, right? And I'm looking for this market. Oh, I was on the hourly chart, right? I'm looking for this market to come up and like retest this 500, maybe come through and break and test this level of resistance. And we did make a higher low. And then throughout the entire New York session, the New York session was pretty bullish. We finished on a strong note. And I mean, there was no reason to sell this market, in my opinion, this afternoon and throughout the New York session. This was a pretty strong rally off the sell-off. And regardless of whether you say this is a pullback, do you say this is a pullback? Yes or no? Maybe. And then there's going to be a list of traders looking for continuation back down. However, Wednesday is going to be a huge day. Wednesday is going to be a very big day for the markets. And so I do believe that we can rally between today and tomorrow. I mean, we take a look here on, that's a 1 minute chart, going back to the 5 minute chart. We take a look at this 5 minute chart, and it exactly was that. New York session open, we rallied up, sold off. We finished strong during power hour. There's a lot of buyers stepping in power hour, and this market looking pretty dang bullish. And obviously up here, right, looking to see if we could break out. We did not. We sold off. We had the little Trump drama that came out and brought this market down 80 points. It was an 80-point sell-off. And here we are right back up. And so this is a buy the dip market when things start to settle down. And I'm always a firm believer of buying dips. And I don't think I'm ever going to get out of that. I'm going to be someone who buys the dips. I've been buying dips for 14 years. Some of them I take losses on. Some of them I do really good. But I mean, could we see something like this? Sure. After every dramatic sell-off, what do we say? I've been saying this ever since I became a coach here at Topstep. I've been saying this time and time again, is the odds are, and the way the market typically works, right, on higher time frames, is after a sell-off, they've been better buying opportunities after the fact, right? It's hard to do it in the moment, right? It's hard to do it in the moment where everyone thinks the markets are crashing and everything's going to sell off and the world's going into a panic and all this dramaticness, right? Each and every one of these dramatic sell-offs have been buying opportunity. Like, that has always been the story in these markets. How far do we sell off? That's a different question, right? Because like I said, not every dip, like you could buy the dip until it keeps dipping, just like we had in August, that crazy crash, right? That's why we use daily loss limits. What's the worst case scenario for you as a trader? Your daily loss limit. It should be your daily loss limit. Worst case scenario, you take a daily loss limit. Outside of that, what directions do the markets typically go? Well, you see it. We see it all the time. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. Well, what exactly dip do we buy? How far is that dip? And those are the questions that really matter, is how do we buy it? When do we buy it? How do we manage our risk? How do we position? And yeah, I'm not opposed to trading to the short side because it's profitable. I mean, the market goes down typically faster than it goes up, but more times than not, it's been buyable dip opportunities ever since we see dramatic sell-offs. And I'm always going to be in that mindset. Maybe it's I'm a bit biased because I do have longer term positions, and a lot of my personal stuff is, multiple months out, and I do really good with that. And yeah, if you tell me a market like Nvidia dropped 17%, I'm going to be excited and say, great, there's an opportunity there. If NASDAQ sells off 5%, I'm going to say, great, there's probably an opportunity there. Because guess what? When was we hitting all-time highs? We were hitting all-time highs last month, right? We were at all-time highs last month. And so when we were hitting when you hit all-time highs, every sell-off before we get to an all-time high is a buyable dip anyway. But always have a stop loss. That's investor, not a day trader. You could come into and be a day trader with a bias. It's okay. Everyone sees me short the market too, but whenever you see dramatic sell-offs here, having some understanding from that aspect, it can help. And yeah, look at this market. See, here we go. Let's see if we can. Yeah, that was a buyable dip as I'm thinking about it. Right back to where we were, just like nothing happened. $90% of the time I set a stop loss. I hit it over and over again. I got long at 265. Buyable dip, sellable rips. That's been the story. That was the story of the New York session today. Buy the dip, sell the rip. Just like nothing happened. Well, the only thing that happened were I'm minus $500, and I'm sure there's traders who are not so happy with this, and I'm sure there's traders that are very happy with this. But and then we look at the, what is this, the 5-minute? We could probably look at the 15-minute, maybe the hourly chart, and nothing really happened, right? We're right back, a higher low. Let's look at the 1 minute. Continue to zoom in. That was quite the opportunity. We back to the 50 on the ES. Sold too early. You had to had either a small position and a wide stop loss to withstand that one. Like if you had a stop loss 85 points, you'd need to have a what do we say, one hell of a stop loss for to hold throughout that move. Well, that was the trade. Kind of ruined it for tonight for me. Unless we could get a little bit of a pullback, I'm not seeing anything else on the NASDAQ. I would like to maybe see a pullback to this zone. Maybe we can make a pullback to this zone or something. I would love to hold along going into tonight, but if not, it sucks. But oh well, it is what it is. Let's make a run at these other markets. We'll continue to watch. We'll continue to watch it. Chat, let me know if we do get any type of a sell-off again. Not like the 80 points, right? But just looking for some type of a pullback to buy. I want to be long the NASDAQ going into tonight, but let's take a look at the rest of these markets. Let's take a look at NKD. Oh, wow. And there goes Nikkei. This is the Japanese market. Nikkei is, talk about rallying and recovering. That is quite the move on the Nikkei. Yeah, look, that's, remember where we were right there a moment ago, and here we are pushing back in these highs. What is the NASDAQ doing? Kind of just not doing much. But, yeah, Nikkei's rallying. That would have been a great opportunity to buy it, right? With a little power of hindsight. I'm not really looking to trade the Nikkei tonight. Not liking it too much. I mean, we just sold off. I want to see better market structure on the Nikkei. Maybe we come up and we rally up to this zone. You can see this is the 39,500s, these upper 500s, maybe 600s. Maybe there's a short opportunity in the Nikkei. I don't know, but it's quite rallying quite hard. I'm going to take a look back at the NASDAQ. Still kind of hovering there. Let's take a look at these other markets real fast. Crude oil. Yeah, I zoomed over to it. Traders saying pullback. We got a little bit of a pullback there. Taking a look at the crude oil. Crude oil had that big sell-off as to be expected, right? Crude oil's been just sell every rally, every little bounce. We got up to $75 a barrel, sold off. And possibly it's going to be the same thing. I think it's going to be the same thing for crude oil. Just looking for opportunities to sell it. Market is not doing too well, not doing hot. It's just completely sold off. And yeah, is crude oil becoming untradeable again? Maybe. Gold, buyable, right? Gold's rallying, higher lows, higher highs. It's been in higher lows, higher highs. This is a daily. Let me zoom into an hourly chart, and let's adjust this again. NASDAQ. I'm bouncing back and forth on the NASDAQ. Is this a change, everybody? Is this a change in the market structure where we are having these higher lows? And if we, I don't know, this could be a change in market structure, right? Higher lows. We've been getting these higher lows for a while. And so maybe this is a change in market structure here on the gold. This is gold. That could be possible where we put in a higher low or a lower high and lower low. However, you can see it's the same thing we kind of did here during this period of time. So that is interesting. This is definitely interesting. You can see where this was support. It's starting to become resistance again. I'm not going to trade gold. This, I think it's still more of the same. Let's see what happens. It's maybe transitioning to shorts. I don't know. All right. Let's take a look at the NASDAQ again, and we'll get to some of all these questions that's been coming. Coach Dakota, with the Fed rate decision almost here, when do you usually stop trading before the event? Depends on the market state. Correct. Dan Trader, I typically do not trade after the fast market session. So Wednesday morning, it could be very choppy. Wednesday morning could be very choppy. Usually an hour or two after the morning opens. I won't trade it until after FOMC. After a few hours of FOMC, I am going to be on for Power Hour with David Green, and that's going to be fun, right? It's going to be after FOMC and Powell speaking, so maybe we could talk a little bit about that. I do like how we're holding this. This was support. We broke out. It's becoming support again. And my target would probably be right back up here to these highs, to be honest. I'm going to get into one, see if it will get me into one. I don't mind getting in at a limit order. Get 97. Might get 97, possibly. 97. Stop loss would be, might have my stop loss at 76. Ah, look at this. That's sometimes it's difficult to be about limit orders. It won't, sometimes limit orders will not fill. But I'm not going to market order in a thin order book. Coach, what are your thoughts on VWAP last days? Does it make practical difference for your trading? Claudia, I have not traded the VWAP. I've been watching it and going to be implementing it for my VIP coaching. So for the traders I am coaching for VIP, I'll talk more about the VWAP there. During the New York session, do you limit your trades to the NASDAQ only? Yes, typically I will limit my trades to the NASDAQ only. This is just a pain in the butt to get in. I want to get into a long, but I don't want to chase it. That was one heck of a, that was the dip. That was a pullback to this area of support that I wanted. Let's see if it will give it to me again. Thoughts on the ORB strategy? What's ORB? ORB strategy. What is that? Inverse head and shoulders. You're looking at this as a head and shoulders order block strategy. I mean, each strategy has its pros and cons, right? Opening range breakout. Yeah, it's valid. I think with any strategy, just hear me out. I think any strategy, there is some validity. I think the more important thing is just, hey, here's the opening range strategy. because if something works, you're not going to see a lot of people talking about it. It's more about how you manage the risk. I think it's less about the strategy and more about how do you manage the risk and how do you manage the strategy. Because somebody who's successful can teach a strategy to 1,000 traders, and 90% of them are going to lose money. 95% of them are going to lose money. I think the most important thing is how the traders utilize that strategy, how they manage the stop loss, how they manage the take profit, how are they managing the trade in general, compared to, is this strategy good or bad, right? Because anybody could take a good strategy and lose money, and a good trader could take a decent strategy and, be profitable. So it really depends. Tell Topstep to update the dashboard. I'm not sure what you mean by that. I have not had issues with my dashboard, and I believe there's even conversations. Last time I was on with MP, he was talking about a new dashboard, dashboard that he's been teasing, that he talks about on TopstepTV. Maybe he'll be on tomorrow. Maybe MP will be on tomorrow. That would be great. What's a strategy that don't work? The strategy that does not work is copy trading somebody else. It is not thinking for yourself. If you cannot think for yourself, that is a strategy that does not work. The human factor can screw up even the most perfect strategy. Yes, well said. The human emotion can ruin the most perfect strategy. 100%. Elvis, you're still looking for a flush? Was that not enough for you? Was this 80-point sell-off in 2 minutes not enough? I would like to see these 80s. How do I be okay with having a losing day? You don't need to think about it. You need to think more about the process that you're trading, and if you continue to take losses, maybe adjust the process. 19,500. Will, is that what you're looking for on the NASDAQ? Are you looking for 19,500 on the NASDAQ? I mean, I want to see us break through this, but if we continue to hold, it could get, I don't know. Can we see a continuation down? Is this a pullback and we see a continuation down? A courtesy flush. That was the courtesy flush, all right, everyone. What everybody's seen there was the courtesy flush. Courtesy of Donald Trump and the tariffs. This huge sell-off was that courtesy flush for tonight. I can take some successful traders in trades in eval, but freeze when taking them in the paid account. Any solution? Consistent trader. Yeah, that's what we all struggle with, right? That's what everybody struggles with, is taking the trade in a live or a paid account or an XFA and comparing it to a combine or a practice account. It's a lot easier to trade an account that you don't care about, right? Really easy to trade an account that you don't care about. It's very difficult to do that same thing in a live account. It's one of the biggest, and it's the number one reason why traders struggle. Facts like that. It's the number one reason why traders struggle. It's difficult. It's difficult psychologically. It has nothing to do with the process. It could be the exact same process, and traders will still struggle. It's, yeah. Blue Knight, how do you balance seeing a setup and entering, like being preemptive, versus seeing some confirmation and being patient? I think it depends. You have to have some type of idea of how you're going to trade it. For example, is what direction is the market going? What time frame you're using? How solid is the support or resistance? Right? Like if you're at a major level, then at a major level, I'm just trying to think of an example, right? Let's just say, let's say we zoom out to a 5-minute time frame, or let's say we zoom out, okay, and we look for a major level. Well, traders might look at this all the way down here, this major sell-off from last night, and say, this could be a good buying opportunity. If the market sells down to 20,800, I would like to be a buyer. Now, because this is such a major level, you can make an argument to be a little bit preemptive. Maybe you could get in early and compared to, say, this level, right? Maybe this level right here, you might want to consider, I'm going to wait and see if the market reacts and then wait for confirmation before I get in long. Something where it's like, maybe I wait for a 3-bar reversal or some type of consolidation, and then I'm looking to buy, right? Compared to down here, maybe you just want to try and just get in long when we first get there, and then see it be a little bit preemptive. So I'm okay with both. I like to do both sometimes, and it really depends. And it depends on, what's going on in the market. It depends on if there's news. It depends on, like, is there a lot of momentum, right? Like, how strong is the trend? What's going on the daily? What's going on in these different time frames? And there's a lot of different things I'll take into consideration before doing that. I'm going to go ahead and see if I get into this long now. If it'll let me into this long. It might not. That's twice. Is this going to be number 2 or it's not going to let me in? Let's see. It touched it. Do I trade on FOMC days? I will not trade FOMC. I might trade a small size after the fact if there's some decent volatility. But I will not trade the days. Like, I will not trade during. I will not hold a position through FOMC. And typically we see a lot of just chop and volatility. I think I'm going to be okay with... I'm looking at this. This is what I am looking at. And if we continue to hold, I might scale into a trade. I might scale into this at 300s even. I'm going to zoom in. 300s even. I might scale in as we go in my favor. Possibly even scaling if we get a deeper pullback. I'm okay. Let's see. That's $600. Let's go through 60 points. I'm going to give this a little bit more room. I'm going to give this probably back down to there to 54. And I will see about scaling in. See about scaling into this. I'm simply just looking at this, and I am looking for this to break, and I'm looking for this to be a flagging pattern. Like I said, I'm bullish, and I'm wanting this to break to the long side. But if I'm wrong, we just seen how important is How important is the stop loss? It's very important. We learned that. We learned that again tonight. The importance of a stop loss, regardless of how confident you might be in a trade. Random news, random headline can put the throw some water on your trade. That's for sure. Random headline can definitely hurt your trade. Yeah, let's see how this market does. We might end up just slowing down a lot and consolidating. I want to get maybe scale into. I'll be okay with scaling into more contracts. But you can see the DOM is a little bit better. It's not the best, but it's a little bit better. Where we were seeing it before, right? It was very sporadic. There was holes. There was like more gaps than this. The spread was very wide. It was pretty hectic and crazy during this period. And now it's started to settle down a little bit. And so I'm more comfortable getting into this position. But small, right? Very small. This is 1/5 the size. 1/5 of the size I normally trade. So I typically trade 5 contracts. One contract right now. If I'm going to take a loss and be wrong on the short side, I'm going to take a loss on one contract. I have level 2, but I can't really see how to take advantage of it. Any suggestions? On Kentucky Blue, Coach J is much better than I am at reading level 2. Coach J is much better than I am at reading level 2. I typically don't take advantage of anything on level 2. I like to watch it. Sometimes I'll see big orders come through on the DOM, but other than that, there's not much else that I see on the level 2 that I wouldn't say I would even be willing to say it's an edge. If we get down to these 70s, I'll add a second position. If we can settle down right here. This is once again, this is what I'm watching. I'm watching this level. To see how we react. Hello from Japan. Do you trade the Nikkei? We talk about the Nikkei here quite often. The Japanese market. Always have to make sure. I almost whenever I adjust something, my settings go back to 5. So my default setting goes back to 5, and I always have to catch myself. Hey, put it back to 1. I almost threw on a 5 lot right there. That would not have been good. I don't want to jump into a 5 lot right there. Watch your settings. Do you use an RSI as an indicator? Related question. Do you have different indicators for different time frames? No, I do not. I do not use an RSI as an indicator. I do not. Let's see if I can get into one right there. Let's see if it will get me in. Okay, I am long 2 now. And this is something I would like to see and possibly hold overnight. If we continue to consolidate, I'll probably add a third one if we could break over 85 and then maybe back in 300. Is that a possibility? Or I might just be seeing this market all wrong, to be honest. Let's take a look at the 5 minute. I might. It's not too bad. I'm still liking it. Yeah, still liking it. We're at the bottom of this, but it's still a little bit questionable. That's why I'm okay with smaller size at first. Smaller size right now. Let me zoom in. We'll go back to that 1 minute chart. This is gonna just go straight to my stop loss. We'll probably sell off again overnight. If we knew exactly where this market's gonna go. There's been too many times I've tried to short this market because of that. Everybody remember what happened last week? I tried to short the market. I actually didn't short the market. It was during a few of these sell-offs where I think we'd have continuation down. And there's plenty of examples where I could go back and look for continuation down. We ended up just rallying overnight. But yeah, that's what makes the market. Different opinions. I really don't mind. So many market makers in the chat. Hey, if I lose, they're right. Once again, this is the area I'm looking at right now. Okay, this is where I might add a third one. I want to see us get back above 84. Kevin Q, this is very small. It's small. I'm keeping it small for a reason tonight. This is a small trade for a reason. Okay, I like that. I like that. Got into 3 contracts now. I want to see us get it back above 85. Hoop, you want me to look at Bitcoin? You want me to look at Bitcoin, huh? Should we look at Bitcoin? I see what you're seeing. Bitcoin's gonna hover around 100,000 for how long? We're still there. Put a line on 100,000, and at any day we could be above or below it. Today we peaked down below it, and right now we're above it. And I think we could continue to see Bitcoin hovering around 100,000 for a while now. But on the hourly chart, I do agree what you're saying, Coach Hoop. We're making higher lows. And if we can maybe break through this, this is a nice support and resistance level here around 102, 103-ish. I could see that long. I don't know about the technicals in Bitcoin. I'm not the best. I don't really trade Bitcoin, but I could see it. All right, NASDAQ. What are we doing here? Lots of slow markets. We're kind of just consolidating, hovering around these 80s. What did I add? Let's see. Where did I add? I got in at 81. I got 81 1/4 and 81 3/4. Yeah, 81 1/4 and 81 3/4. So I got it basically right there where we're at. 3 contracts, still on the smaller side. Risking 31 points. I'm risking 31 points on this. $87.5. Making that pivot. I took an entry at 276 with a stop loss at 261. Stop loss at 261. Trump candle spooked everyone. Just waiting for the next. Maybe we'll get a Trump chat or headline that's positive for these markets. Can that happen? Is that legal? Is that allowed in these markets for the markets to go up on a headline like that, or do we just go down? Coach Hoop, doubt it. I doubt it too. The markets do not like uncertainty. Obviously, major red candle. When pigs. Can you place an order using the DOM? Yes, you can. You can place an order using the DOM. I do it all the time. Yeah, over here on the right-hand side. Yep. Join bid, join ask, buy market, sell market, position sizing, all that fun stuff is over here. And this is what I use to manage this trade. It's taken me, so I'm going to be honest. It has taken me a little bit of while. It's taken me some time to get used to this platform. I've been trading this platform for over 7 months now. 7 months. I've spent 4 or 5 years on, no, 6 years on NinjaTrader. 6 years on NinjaTrader. And so there was a little bit of a learning curve to get used to trading this platform. I'm still getting used to some of the stuff, and there's continues to get great new features. And so there's always going to be a learning curve when learning a new platform and getting used to the tools that you trade with. And like with anything else, just like with anything else. Do you miss NinjaTrader? I think with everything, there's going to be stuff that you miss and stuff that you don't miss. I mean, if anything, I do miss some of the hotkeys that I could draw with, and I think you could even do it on here. I just haven't taken the time to do that. Like, for example, there's hotkeys on some of these drawings. I just would need to take the time to get used to it and get comfortable doing it. Like, there's a lot, right, to do a little bit of both. And there's nothing wrong with it. It's just like, what do we call it? Very, very habits, right? Old habits. I have a lot of habits with a different platform that you trade for, 6 years. You have tons of habits. Candles don't lie. You know what else doesn't lie? My account balance, bud. It just comes in here and starts talking crap. I've showed everything. I mean, despite these losses, these are very small. That's why I'm keeping these sizes, keep the size small. Post the hair routine. Yeah, at the end of the day, it's about the dollar amounts. Dollar amounts is at the end of the day. It doesn't really matter. Maybe I need to stop gambling, and yeah, I just made $500,000 from just gambling. That's it. That's all. You just have to gamble, guess your way through. You make an easy $500,000. You do it for 14 years. You live off of it, and there's nothing wrong, right? I'm not gloating. You guys are the ones talking smack. Chat's talking smack. Don't talk it if you can't take it. I don't mind. This is fun banter. Hindsight Capital's undefeated. Okay, gonna add right there. Fun indeed. Oh, chat, this is why I love you. This is why I love doing this. I do. I love doing this in front of everyone. Hopefully it helps somebody. And two, I wouldn't be anywhere else. Like, what would I be doing on a Monday night, right? I could go hang out with friends. I could go, snowboarding at night. They have the lit up slopes. I could be doing a lot of negative stuff, right? I could be doing like stuff that is negatively impactful in my life. But I really enjoy this. Nothing beats this. Nothing. You are my friends. Good. I have not went to a Utah hockey game though, Coach Hoop. I have not. Uh-oh. Something must be wrong. Something's wrong if I'm making money. Yeah, something's wrong. The markets must be wrong. Man. I need to just end it. Should I just end the stream here? Huh? Huh? Chat. Yeah. Oh man. Hey, I'm not gonna say anything because this trade's not over yet. It's not done until it's done. This market could sell off still. This trade's not done. It's not a winner yet. It's not a winner yet. I will not consider any trade a winner or a loser until after it's finished. There's been too many times that I've had trades turn around and hit my stop loss, and then there's been too many times where it comes close to my stop loss and turns around and is a winner. It's never a winner or a loser until after it is done. Not getting emotional or any of that. Do we have a target here? My first target's going to be up here near this high. Come in and test these 320s. And then I do have a overnight target. And that overnight target, if you really want to know, if we take a look at this hourly chart and my overnight target, if we can see it, is going to be up here towards these 500s. If we can see 21,500. Now, I know it's a stretch. It's an extreme target, but that would be a an extreme one, right? So that would be one area. This next one is going to be the New York session high. The high of this candle near the New York session, maybe closer to around 400. So those are the areas that I am looking for a very longer stretch target. I've been wanting to get long. I want to get long. I found my place to get long so far. It's not over. I could still take a loss. I'm not going to say anything because we still have a lot to get through. We still have a lot of selling pressure to get through. If we do start to break out, then obviously it'll start to look good. But this trade's not over. This market could still do anything. We could get a random headline that will sell this market off, and I take this loss. I mean, it's not over until it's over. Like, that's the reality of it. That's just the way it works, right? Yeah, I might consider taking one off if we come back up to these 320s. It depends on how we get there, right? If we just get there in one candlestick, maybe I'll hold on to see if we break, if we have a nice slow grind up. And then it depends on what time I go to bed, right? Because if this is definitely a trade that I'll let run overnight. I definitely want to see us get back above 300 and hold above these 300s. Thanks, Claudia. You know, if we all just buy one contract, we could all just that's the Bitcoin strategy. That's those meme coin strategy. If we just all buy and hold and pump this market up, that's the meme coin strategy. Everybody buying and holding. That's what Hoag means by get out and push. That's the GME strategy. That's the group mentality. Yes. This is a slow markets trade. I don't think I've ever owned a meme coin. I traded an option once on, maybe it was a future. I don't know. I don't own any crypto. I do not own crypto. I traded XRP once. Yep, I did trade XRP once. I do not own it. Yeah, whole lot of nothing right now. Market just kind of died. We had that nice spike in volatility, and now we are getting absolutely nothing. I can't say that. That'd be lying, right? We got 30 points. 30 points. This is a big move. This is a big move in slow markets. I need to understand that it's all about perspective. 30 points in slow markets, that is a big move. Very big move. We've seen a 80-point sell-off, 80-point rally, and now we're seeing these are decent-sized moves. So I can't say it's slow. It's slow compared to what we just experienced. It is slow compared to what we experienced, but that's okay. Let's see if we could get this breakout to the long side. We don't know until it's always easier with hindsight. We don't know whether it's going to break up or break down. I would love to keep this going on stream for everybody to watch it, because that's what you guys want to see. Traders want to see me lose, and traders want to see me win, and traders want to actually improve their own trading. That's probably the 5%ers, right? 5% of the traders here probably want to actually just improve as traders, and they don't care whether a trader wins or loses. We're all in this together, and they just want to become better traders themselves. And those are the traders that I usually tend to see become successful and take payouts. You want to see me on Barrett Jackson getting that car? Well, it already sold. It already went out for an auction. Barrett Jackson. Yeah, you guys you've seen that car that went out that I just about put a bid on. It's Yeah, there's always nice cards going on and going over the line at Jackson auctions down there in Arizona. Let's see. You guys seen it? It was I'll show you. I put the link in earlier during Fast Markets. I want to show this one before I come off. It's old muscle car. If you guys know me, I like old muscle cars. That's my. I don't look at them as just, hey, I'm gonna go take this car and ride it. I look at them as investments. If I could find it. Here it is. This is the car I almost picked up. Nicolas Cage's, I don't know why they do it as Nicolas Cage's. Maybe they're trying to get some more sellers. It's a 1970 Plymouth, but it has a Hemi. It's a custom. It's not all original. I do not like the interior. I personally would rather have a white interior. I would prefer a white interior. Obviously, I'd put some more money into it to, change a lot about this interior. But yeah, if it had a better interior, I would pick it up. I love Mopar. Mopar's a beautiful thing. It's one thing you guys don't realize. One thing that everybody here in chat does not realize. Most of what you see online, most of the fancy cars and screenshots, they don't even know how to change their oil. They don't know how to change their oil. Good luck. See if they could change their own tire or fix an alternator or in any of that stuff. So I love to work on my own stuff. That it's like I will. I don't want to say it here because it could be taken wrong, but dropping a transmission, putting on a new transmission, right? We even weld spider gears. Hey, let's weld the spider gears together and go to a burnout contest, right? I guarantee you half the people that you see never picked up a welder and done work to their car. So that's the difference. I don't look at it as just get a flashy car. You guys will never know on anything that I have, own, or talk about. I would honestly, instead of that nice car that you guys seen, I'd probably find a decent fixer-upper and put the work in. It's fun, right? It means a lot more when you build it yourself. It's just like that. It could be therapy, right? Very therapeutic. But then I drive a Honda Civic, yeah, because it gets amazing gas mileage, and I don't care if I don't care if it gets scratched. I don't care if anybody, fender bender. It's a 2020 Honda Civic is what I drive. That's my daily driver. It gets me to point A to point B, just like a Lamborghini or any other car would. It gets you from point A to point B, and I don't care where I park it. And I know no one's going to steal that thing. Armando Caesar, yeah, I grew up on cars. I grew up in a car family, working on cars on a dirt track, all that fun stuff. What was my first car? My first car was a 2002 Toyota Camry. Yeah, this trade's taking forever. It's a slow markets trade, so I'm just going to go ahead and let this one play out. You guys can keep an eye on it. Enjoy this trade. We are coming up to the end of class. We are at the end of class. We are a few minutes over. That is okay. I don't mind going a few minutes over. It was a fun one tonight, a slow one. You guys got to see me take, one or two losses or whatever. Down $500 in a long trade here in the NASDAQ. And I'll see everybody bright and early tomorrow morning. Take care, everybody, and see you then.